It is only rich people who say shit like that and put on this, framework of, like, they always are saying things like, you can do whatever you want, you just put your mind to it. He goes, in 19 months, I was thinking about this castle and then I bought it. Well, don't you fucking have to have money in your account to buy a castle? Like, you can't just in 19 months be thinking about a castle and boom, even if you're working for those 19 months every single day, you're not buying a castle, dude. Like, there's no way.
Iranian nuclear weapons development.
They have turned the island into a communist hellhole.
The experiment in Venezuela has failed completely.
Something that Marx mentions in Capital, which I think is one of the most profound quotes in Capital, is that just as in religion, man is dominated by the products of his own mind, in capitalism, man is dominated by the products of his own hand. And we don't have to say just man and woman, but humans were dominated under capitalism by the products of our hand, of these phones, these media apparatuses. And that's not to reject technology, right? Because as Marxists, we understand that we shouldn't reject technology outright. We should use it for the purposes of pushing for socialist revolution, for educating the masses. And it's something that the capitalists know very well how to use it to promote capitalism. And so I want to play this clip. There's this guy named Dan Peña. I think he's Latino. I think he's Chicano. I'm not too sure. But anyway, he's this billionaire. He's a Latino billionaire. He's supposed to be like the success story. If he can do it, anybody can do it. And so this video is called Dan Peña's Advice for Young People. He's a businessman and entrepreneur and the creator of Quantum Leap Advantage methodology. And again, listen to what he's saying, but also listen to the music. Because I bet if you were to take off the music, he would just sound like some crazy old bumbling lunatic, like an asshole. Just hear the way he talks, because the music plays the role of relieving that stress of, like, because everybody wants inspiration. Everyone wants to feel inspired. Everyone wants to feel like they have a release. And so the capitalist media, they tap into that, but then they subvert it by combining it with this pro-market, pull yourself up by the bootstraps message. So I'm going to play this and get your reaction.
Bill Gates slept in the office. Steve Jobs slept in the office. And I can go down a whole list. Now, these are super successful, mega wealthy guys. I slept in my office. Not everybody's willing to make that sacrifice. But it's not the only thing. But even if you don't sleep in your office, if you want to send your kids to a better school, if you want to be able to take care of your mother when she gets dementia, if you want to this all takes money. My children aren't getting any of my money when I die. I'm not going to, I think Andrew Carnegie, by the way, Andrew Carnegie, arguably the richest, most successful entrepreneur of all time, he said that the best thing that you can have for a child is him to be born into poverty. And I agree. But most of you don't have, and I say generally speaking, most of you don't have faith in yourselves because you got low self-esteem, no self-confidence. You look like shit. You dress like shit. And you blame it on the 21st century, the reason why you dress the way you do. 25 years ago, if you come to a seminar like this, you'd all be wearing suit and tie. 40 years ago, the women would be wearing hats. This is my uniform. I don't go to sleep like this, but I mean, this is my uniform. It has been for a long, long, long time. If you want to get money from banks, dress like the president of your country. You come in looking like some of you, I wouldn't give you fucking toilet paper. You only have one time to make a first impression, kids. Before I had any money, I used to go to the Rolls Royce dealers and sit in the cars and smell the leather, touch the leather. I went to $1 million houses, and my wife and I would walk through the house, and they'd say, "When are your parents getting here, kids?" No, we are the buyers. Practice within when you're without. Practice being successful. How many people listening to this today practice being successful today? Within 19 months of me dreaming and adding it to my goals, a castle on an island. I own Guthrie Castle. Go to stores you can't afford. Go hire lawyers you can't afford. Lawyers will meet with anybody. Accountants will meet with anybody. Go to the big four accountants with a business idea. The first couple meetings are for free. Jettison probably a lot of the people you hang around with. A lot of people don't believe they deserve to be there. I convince them, and we have these drills, why you belong there. A lot of people that come there, with money, that have made money, think they made it by accident.
So this bumbling old fuck is going on about capitalism and why you should dream. Just think of it in your mind. And y'all had some funny ass comments in the comment section. Tommy McGee says, seriously, these people are nuts. Comrade, shout out to Comrade Salifu. This is insane. And and Brewski said, yeah, I'm tuning out the song out, and oh my fucking God, this is ridiculous. If you take out the song, it's just a crazy old guy yelling at you and telling you to be better, to smell leather. He loves leather apparently, and he's obsessed with just being rich and getting money. So again, right, this is what, like, a video like this, by the way, this video on YouTube got like millions of views, and people in the comment section are like, oh my God, so inspirational. So, and this is mind control. This is the shit that, like, if I were to send that to my cousins right now or my family, they would be like, oh my God, thanks for sending me Monday motivation. Like, this is amazing. And it's really sad to say that, and it just compels us as communists to do a better job of creating content. But your reaction, Comrade Josh?
So first and foremost, I want to just say that while this video was going, I just did some quick Google searches because his one quote really astonished me. He said, what was it? Andrew Carnegie said that the best thing for a child is that they're born into poverty. So as of 2019, around 10,000 children die every single day due to hunger. Around 35 million are displaced every single year. Now, that is a crazy quote to just throw out there. And it is only rich people who say shit like that and put on this, framework of, like, they always are saying things like, you can do whatever you want. You just put your mind to it. He goes, in 19 months, I was thinking about this castle and then I bought it. Well, don't you fucking have to have money in your account to buy a castle? Like, you can't just in 19 months be thinking about a castle and boom, even if you're working for those 19 months every single day, you're not buying a castle, dude. Like, there's no way. So I think one of the most ridiculous parts about this and the capitalist propaganda that we see every day, the rise and grind bullshit, the stocks bros bullshit, like all of the Elon Musk fans who, I don't know if you know this, but somebody who is like a hacker posted on, I think it was on Twitter. They said folks who like steal people's money love targeting Elon Musk fans. They find them on Twitter and they'll reach out to them and they'll say that they have some like multi-level marketing thing that they need investors for. And that's how they scam folks, is the Elon Musk fans. So like, it's just bullshit. It's outright bullshit. And that's why they need that background music. That's why he needs to say outlandish quotes that, throw your mind over here for a second. So by the time he finishes it, you don't even know what the fuck he just said, but he's wearing a suit and he said that you're not wearing a hat anymore. And he likes the smell of leather. So you need to step up your game. I just think that at the end of the day, this is toxic as fuck. Capitalist propaganda is a plague on the working class people. We need to be doing a better job in our individual lives as well as content creators to not just, debunk this shit, but really inspire a different kind of motivation. Because I think if we look at the incredible things, for example, you just went to Nicaragua. If you look at the incredible things that the Sandinista government and the Nicaraguan people are doing, that's motivational as fuck. And not for nothing, that takes it to a much, I feel as someone with the ideals and the beliefs that I have, it's that much better to be doing it in the way that the Nicaraguan people are doing, because they're doing it as a community. They're building something that everybody has an opportunity to take part in and be supported in, and ultimately be safe, you know, because even this, you know, bullshit of work your ass off, pop a hip out, and you can't, you know, can't sleep in your office with a bad hip anymore, dude, you know? And I just think that ultimately, at the end of the day, I think we have a lot of work to do here in the United States as communists.
Most definitely. And it also alludes to the contradiction between idealism and materialism, because idealism is something that, for people who are learning about Marxism, the two main philosophical world outlooks are idealism and materialism. Idealism is prevalent in religion, in capitalism, that if you think something, it'll become reality. I think, therefore I am. That famous Aristotelian quote. Marx and the Marxist tradition, communist tradition, inverts that and says, I am, therefore I think. The material precedes the ideal. That we have certain thoughts and ideas because we have brain and cognition, and the material conditions of society determine the ideas that you have in your mind. So if you're growing up in one of the poorest countries in the world, in Congo, in Somalia, and Yemen, you can't just smell leather and think about some castle and it'll just magically pop up, like that asshole Dan Peña was saying in the video. It's based on material conditions. That is the primary determinant factor in how you live life. And I think it's something that's important to point out as well, because then that plays a role in how we as communists create propaganda. And also, lastly, I want to say that that's a great point you made about making good content and propaganda sexy and interesting and thought provocative, because we're competing against the major corporations that have all the music entertainment industry. They have all the weapons at their disposal. And that's why it's so important for art and culture and music to be part of every revolution. And I think in Nicaragua, and also in Venezuela and Cuba and elsewhere, and China, music has been so integral to the revolutions, and it's a way of passing down tradition, creating a culture, and it's a way to counteract the capitalist media and propaganda and brainwash. But compañera Mercedes, your reaction to Dan Peña and everything that we're talking about?
First of all, I concur. Not concur. I disagree. You can sleep in your office. If you have a bad enough sleep schedule, you could definitely sleep in your office. But besides that, I have to write things down because otherwise I don't remember them. Blah, blah, blah. So I felt like it was interesting because he does use like good points where it's like, oh, if you want your kids to go to a good school, you need money. If you want to do this, you need money. And it's true. And I think that's the part that gets people motivated. And I think not enough of us, unfortunately, think like, oh, why is that? That's a problem. Because, you know, like from the time you're a kid, like what do you see? It's like, oh, that guy's like the rich guy, he could do all these things, it's magical. Or even like, oh, it's the Disney princess, and the guy who's the good guy who wins and who could do all the things and save you is the rich dude. And you know, yes, it's true, you need money right now in the system, but the problem is why. And it doesn't matter how you do need to work hard to a degree, because everywhere in life you have to work hard. If you're in an if you're in an equal society or not, too. But like, you could be a doctor and be broke here. You could, like, me personally, like I have a master's, I have a bachelor's in engineering, and I'm in an entry-level job making okay-ish money with the fact that I live with my parents. Like, the whole meritocracy thing is just bullshit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. I think one of the nice things about like technology these days and about like millennial and Gen Z culture is that even if people aren't that aware, I think there's enough criticism that even if you don't have like the shiny music and like the pretty pictures, I think enough people make good comments and content that more people are being aware and being able to say like, oh wait, you can look over here at Nicaragua and they're doing good stuff. Like, that needs to change. That needs to happen over here.